live stream has started, so let's give them that and that. Ho ho, this is the Bobby Freakout Hour. I am Bobby Freakout, sometimes known as Gavin. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've watched, talking is like, they say fake it till you make it, so I've just got to talk as though there is an audience, as though there is actually somebody listening and somebody watching. Some people do actually watch this, and thank you to them for doing that. But at the same time, I can see the numbers, and the numbers are still very, very low. The really good thing about today's episode is that we have so much more effective usage of the technology. For instance, we now have this camera working over here, which is fantastic. I can point over there and have that camera doing its thing. And then we can fade back to this one. And then we've even got, would you believe, screen capture. That's right. Later in the episode, we're going to do a quiz called If You Can Identify 9 out of 12 of these plants or these flowers, you're officially a plant connoisseur. But we're not there just yet. And so I shouldn't be... it's not as good as I thought. I had a look at it and got a little bit worried. Or not worried. Worried's not the right word. But that's what we've got up. We've got two segments today. We've got a geocaching segment and we've got a camp food review segment. I feel in the future that the camp food review segment is no longer going to be a camp food review. It's going to be the woods. I'm going to change the name to, and we're just going to do bushcrafty stuff out in the woods. And I was going to do a sing-along, but I have not prepared enough or practiced a song enough, so maybe we won't do that. We'll see how we go. As I said, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to quickly do a little shout-out slash whatever you want to call it to everyone that does watch and stuff, and I'm going to ask you via camera number 2. Should I zoom in on camera number 2, or is that... No, it's a little background camera, doesn't it? I like the fact that you can sort of see a little bit more. You can even see the record player. If I had the records working and stuff, we'd have the records going. That would be really cool. And I feel like there's should be something on the TV if I'm going to do it from this angle, but maybe not. Anyway, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, because at the moment the numbers are a bit depressing. I don't understand... I'm in a little bit vloggy. This is meant to be like a vlog variety show. That's the kind of vibe I'm meant to be going for, or I want to be going for. And so here's a little bit of the vloggy section about me and what's going on with me. I really somewhat confused by the lack of progress in terms of getting more eyeballs and more what have you. Now, I shouldn't be too depressed and stuff, because looking at my phone, I can tell you that I have had an increase in subscribers to the YouTube, which is fantastic. That's one of the main things that we're trying to do here. And so I shouldn't be that upset by that, although that's a monthly audience of 0. But yeah, so in the last 28 days, we've had 6 subscriber subscriptions. Unfortunately, on the Instagram, it tells you how many negatives you've had as well, and I've had 10 unfollows and 7 follows. Speaking of which, shout out to all my new Instagram followers. Unfortunately, I won't be able to subscribe to your OnlyFans or follow your links because I am poor at the moment and cannot be spending money in areas that I don't need to. To quote George Costanza, why pay for something when if I apply myself, I can get it for free? So it's amazing. You go, oh, cool, new follower. That's great. we're building the community. That's great. And then you look at it and it's like, oh, check out my link. I'm lonely. And it's like, no, you're not real. And you've probably stolen the photos from somebody, and it's just a spam link or whatever. And it's all terrible. The internet can have so many terrible things. There's so many wonderful things about the internet, but so many terrible ones. And the stolen pictures used to take money out of the pockets of poor lonely men is one of those terrible parts of the internet. Let's get into our very first segment. This is a Geocaching Adventure 21. I think it's number 21. I should actually write these things down so I'm prepared and ready to go. This was a very nice sunny day with some inappropriately warmer weather, colder weather pants, making it a bit hot. I do believe I'm wearing the same shirt. I just realised I think in both the clips today I am wearing the same clothes. It's because I don't have many clothes at the moment, and I'm working off a very small wardrobe. Over the last year or two, let's just do an ADHD diversion. Over the last 5 to 6, maybe even 10 years, I've been slowly putting on weight. And because I've hit 40 and I'm now middle-aged, the weight has gained easier. It's I've had to focus a little bit on what I'm eating to try and maintain a little bit less weight gain. And again, that's just middle age. That's just what happens. You got to deal with it. Like my hair's going a little bit thin and stuff. That's just what happens. That's just middle age. My face is getting a little bit spotty. That's middle age. That's just what happens. And it means that a lot of the clothes that I've got are not exactly fitting nicely and correctly. And I've had to start buying extra large instead of just large or extra large. And that's a little bit upsetting. Luckily, because of the fuel crisis and my car situation, I am riding my bike and walking a lot more. So I'm feeling that the weight is going to slowly come off. It doesn't come off quick enough though. It's very frustrating. It really is, and it's such a common thing. People talk about how they'll try to lose weight and it's like, oh, it doesn't happen quick enough, and then you get depressed and you don't get anywhere. And it's like, oh, it's really true. But the weight went on really slowly as well. That's the other thing that I've noticed. Anyway, so I've only got a few pieces of clothing at the moment that are really comfortable. One of which is this shirt. It's a huge, it's like a 4XL. It's massive on me, and it's nice. I roll up the sleeves. Wait, where's that one? There we go. Roll up the sleeves. You can see spots from where the oils burnt me at work. Roll up the sleeves, and it feels nice. It's just a really loose, comfortable top over the top of the fat, but it means that I wear it a lot. And so you will see in both of our segments today that I'm wearing it in both of them. So, without further ado, this is Geocaching 21. If you like this, you can actually go to YouTube in about a week, I think it is, and a much longer extended version will be on there for your viewing pleasure. Okay. We've had a bit of a lazy day. We've had a bit of a lazy weekend. And to make up for that, we're going for a bit of a walk. And there's a couple of geocaches that are slightly newer ones that have been put near the beach. And so we're going to go for that. We are trying to get... I feel like I should be including the names of these caches on the screen and in the details. So today we're going to be finding Muna Stash, GCBHNPF. Oh, you're kidding me. My phone's playing up of late, and the geocaching app is now not going to stay open for whatever reason. It's happening with the podcast app as well, which is very frustrating because I quite like the podcast app. It's one of my main apps that I use. Okay, so it's staying open. So this was only published this year. Asher, doctor. Oh, you're a good girl. Come here. There's your sister. Asher. Okay, come on, let's go. So just the other day, we were down here and we did Geocaching 20, I think it was, and that's the kiln that we were at. So we're in the exact same area, same region. So if you're down on the peninsula and you're in Rye, there's a number of caches along here with some fantastic places to go walking and to check out. So one way to go is that way. I don't know if you can see it, just there, some stairs. But we're going to go along the beach because it is an absolutely fantastic day here on the beach, and the dogs are going to enjoy having a little adventure. I think I've said it on these geocaching videos a heap of times, but I really do absolutely love coming to places that you wouldn't normally come to. This little spot we're at, it's got a little seat and stuff like that, and we've been here before, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change how nice it is to come and just sit up here. The infrastructure of having this like little walk along the beach, little path, little trail, whatever you want to call it, and then to have these little spots to sit is just fantastic. I definitely could have worn shorts today. The sun is out quite nicely. I even brought a raincoat thinking there was a chance of rain, because we had rain yesterday, I think it was. Fortunately, lately there's been a lot less dog walks, which is a shame. But it's fantastic. We're now hitting some grassed areas, or grassed path, which is nice. Yeah, just, I love it. We're almost there though. Come down to the Mornington Peninsula, get along the Bay Trail, and walk your dogs, find some caches, and really enjoy it, because this is a fantastic space. Well, as is often the case, I've gotten so comfortable walking that I've gone past it. It is just there somewhere. The map suggests that it's on this sign, I'm going to think. That's a pipe there. Doctor looking particularly cute. Ain't ya, you little cutie? Hey, you little cutie. And some shoes there that someone's left. I'm gonna try and put the bag down and try and find this cache that I'm not even going to be able to sign. So I'm going to log it on the digital. Thank you. It's definitely the right thing. Like, I've got it. I'm not going to bother pulling it out because it's that would be silly. Looks like it's a bit of tube, a little bit of pipe. It's a very well put together cache, because you would not pick that. That looks pretty old and like it's meant to be there. So I'm going to log it digitally, say that I forgot to bring a pen, and then hopefully come back at another time. And you can tell how hot it is. I am looking very sweaty, very shiny. It's funny, you look at yourself in cameras like this and it's, I don't know, don't necessarily feel the most attractive right now. Look at my eyes and the wrinkles. My God, I am aging like crazy. The last couple of years, I've really aged. I'm really surprised at how much I've aged in a couple of years. So we've got a big lip and my double chin in there. Yeah, anyway. No wonder I'm single. Anyway, let's log this game. Well, I've signed the digital log, and for me, that's enough. Do you want an almond? Do you want an almond? Because I wasn't feeling this today. Had a very productive morning, but had a nap and then just was like, I do not want to go out. Luckily for me, these two needed to go for a walk because they've been inside a little bit too much lately. So very, very glad that just their presence and my responsibility to them gets me up and out and active. And so that's the end of today's caching trip. Thank you so much for tuning in. Back to me in the studio. And that was Geocaching 21. Fantastic little cache, that one. If you go watch the full video when it's available on YouTube, which will be soon, you'll see a lot more detail, and a lot of that'll make a lot more sense. I realized that in the edit to try and trim it down to an appropriate segment section, I have made it a lot of the stuff seem almost nonsensical, which is fantastic. And the older I'm getting, the more I'm noticing that my nose is a decent size. And there was a couple of shots there, especially the one where I talked about how I wasn't feeling attractive. And especially when I put the wide angle on the camera, it really does make my nose look a lot bigger than I think of it as being. Because it's not, my nose is, like if 10 was a massive, that's so bad that you should get surgery kind of nose, and 1 was like a, oh my God, that's so tiny, you can't breathe out of it nose. I think my nose is probably like in that 6 or 7 kind of range. It's big enough that on certain angles and at certain times it looks really big, but at other times it doesn't look big and it doesn't matter at all. And especially if I've got longer hair, you don't really notice my nose at all. But with the shorter hair and certain angles, the nose looks big, which I don't really care. As much as I feel very positive. One positive thing about myself lately, I've been thinking about myself and thinking and realizing how negative my mind is, and how I do think of the worst case scenario, the negative option, the bad kind of thing. And one of the things that I'm really glad about is that physically and stuff, I don't really care. I know that there are things I like and I don't like about myself and my body and my face and all that kind of stuff, but none of them really upset me. Like this eye recently has been a bit puffy. I don't know what's going on there, more so than this one. And I've got a little bit of similar to my mother, the droopy eyelids. But again, I don't care that much. The worst one I've got recently is the floppy under here. That is freaking, it's payback. It's absolutely payback, because I remember a long time ago when I was a very little boy, I sat and my grandmother, my mum's mum, had floppy arms under here. And I remember sitting there going plap, tap, 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 and tapping it and flopping it. Which is a terrible thing to do to somebody. And I now think, well, that's just payback and stuff. So from the little bit of research that I've done, it means that I should be eating broccoli. Broccoli and maybe collagen tablets or something like that. I don't know. So when I ordered food the other night as a treat for the week, I ordered a chicken parma instead of a pizza, and I got vegetables. And so I ate some broccoli. The likelihood of me eating any more broccoli this week is very minimal, but there we go. Maybe send in some broccoli. Yeah. And broccoli's great too. You steam it, you put a little bit of butter and salt on it, bang, away you go. And with a steak and some roast potato or something, it's fantastic. But, as always, I have the same problem with almost all meals. The amount of effort it takes to actually cook a meal never equates to a satisfying experience. For instance, you spend all this effort cooking it. Like, for instance, if I was going to cook a steak and veg, and I steamed the broccoli, and I roasted the potato, and I fried the steak in a pan or something, I would need a frying pan, a steamer, and then the oven. Now, obviously, I could cook the potato in the pan with the steak. That would crisp it up quite nicely. That would be great. But you'd want to steam that first. So do you steam the broccoli and the potato together, but then the broccoli's not hot at the same time? You know what I mean? It's so much effort. It's just so much effort. And lately, I've been really enjoying just having a tin can of soup and a rice and a handful of rice, because that combination is just so easy to make and then satisfying to eat. And that's pretty much going to be my lunch for all days this week, because that's all I can be bothered cooking. And I've got a new thermos and it works. It's fantastic. Anyway, let's do a quiz. Do you want to do a quiz? Let's do a quiz. This is the quiz we're going to do. That's bit of SpongeBob. So we're on the BuzzFeed website, as you can see there. I should... next time I do this, I'll remember to make sure I don't have anything dodgy in the tabs up the top. Out of curiosity, if you didn't know, here we go. This isn't good. Here it comes. No, it's coming. Seriously, it's coming. In 2011 in Spain, they did a Cheers show. Who would have thought that Cheers in Spain would be the way to go? I'm tempted to watch it. Obviously, I don't know Spanish, but we'll see. Maybe it might be a good one to watch and do a reaction video, as the kids like to do. If I do that and that, there we go. I love the technology. I put a border around this, and now you can see my head through the border. So I should have gotten rid of that border, but I'll do that next time. So, if you can identify 9 out of 12 of these flowers, you're officially a plant connoisseur. April showers bring May flowers. Today is officially the first day of spring. Now, this is obvious. This is from March 21st. This is a current up-to-date quiz on BuzzFeed.com. Thank you, BuzzFeed. I got to say, as a Canadian, this winter was tough, but thankfully brighter days are ahead, literally, blah, blah, blah. Now, obviously, I'm Australian, and so we're at the end of summer, and we're in autumn now, and it's about to get cold, so none of that applies to me. Now, what I've noticed is that all of it's just the same group of flowers, and you've got to press buttons. Or not buttons, but you've got to press the one that you think is correct. So it'll say up in the corner there, tap on roses, and then you tap on roses. So what I'm going to do first is a bit of a show-off little thing, because I do like flowers. Starting in the top left, we're going to go across the top row, across the middle row, and across the bottom row, and I'm going to name as many as I can before we even do the thing. So top left is poppy, then we've got daisy, then we've got hibiscus, and then we've got daffodil. The next one, so second row down on the very left, I'm not 100% sure. I want to say maybe orchid. Then we've got tulip, roses, and that's like a Hawaiian flower. Not sure. Third row, I don't know that first one. Then we've got sunflower. Then I don't know that third one, but I know that when I get to it, I'm going to remember it. And then the last one is a hydrangea. So, tapping on roses. I've tapped on roses, as you can see there. Can I zoom in on that? Cam 1, no. Just hold on 1 second, guys, whilst we do a bit of this. Oh, no, we can't zoom in on that. Okay, well, that's all right. Okay, so I've tapped on roses. Correct, those are roses, as you can see there. Tap on sunflowers. We've tapped on sunflowers. Those are correct. Tulips, yes. Daisies, correct. Lilies, this is the one. This is the one. I believe it is that one that I thought was a Hawaiian or something. Correct, those are lilies. Orchid, I'm going to try that one. I was correct. Poppies, correct. Peonies, here we go. So, peonies are either the very bottom left or bottom row, 3 across. Ooh, peonies. I'm going to go with 3 across. So, bottom row, 3 across the green, white, pink, orange ones. Ready? Oh, I was wrong. It was the first one. That's very disappointing. Daffodils, yes, top right. Hydrangeas, bottom right. Interesting enough, with hydrangeas, you can tell the acidity of the soil based on the colour. So if you change the acidity of the soil, the colour will change from pink to blue. Dun, dun, dun. Chrysanthemums is how I believe that's pronounced. Botanical plant names are fantastic for the way that they're pronounced and stuff like that. So, given that bottom left was peonies, I'm going to go with the one that I thought of before, the orange, white, pink, and that is correct. Chrysanthemums. Hibiscus. That's the third on the top. Did I say hibiscus at the start? Let me know in the comments. Oh, look at that. That's right. No one's watching. No one's watching. Oh, there we go. 11 out of 12 correct. Bonus question. You scored better than 66% of all other quiz takers. Take that. For a bonus point, let us know in the comments, what are your all-time favourite flowers? I think my favourite flowers would be certain species or certain varieties of rose that have wonderful perfumes. I also, let's see if we can find... This is the Angel's Trumpet, Brugmansia. And this is one of my favourite flowers as well, partly because it is an absolute trip. That's a good picture there. So you can see there oops. That is a fantastic, even though it's out of focus and a bit blurry, that's a pretty good one too. And then in a dwarfed variety there. This is one of my absolute fantastic favourite plants, and the flowers are just brilliant. I remember doing a gardening job one time where I was walking back and forwards with a wheelbarrow past a couple of varieties, a white one and that's sort of the classic one that you'll see often in that kind of context. And the smell was just fantastic. Every time I walked past them, it was full of flowers, and every time I walked past, I'd have a big whiff. And there's actually one or a couple right near the bus stop in Dramana where I get the bus, and it's fantastic. I put my nose in it all the time. Funnily enough, though, it is also a dangerous hallucinogen. Oh wow. Apparently all 7 species are known only in cultivation or as escapees from cultivation, and no wild plants have ever been confirmed of the Devil's Trumpet, the Brugmansia. That's fantastic. I did not know that at all. They're therefore listed as extinct in the wild. That is really interesting. Hey, there you go. Well, today's plant of the episode, I was thinking I wanted to start doing a plant of the week or a plant of the episode on the show, and so this one is Brugmansia. That's fantastic. Oh, that's a weird version of a drawing of it. There is a documentary via Vice on, and look at the variety of colours and stuff. They're fantastic. I'm trying to find here. Yeah, so Brugmansia contains deliriant hallucinogenic alkaloids which cause delirium and hallucinations. In modern medicine, these tropane alkaloids found in Brugmansia and other have proven medical value for their spasmolytic, anti-asthmatic. Is that asthmatic? Asthmatic? Well, yeah. So there you go. There is actually some use of them. And I shouldn't be just reading here because this is the thing. The hallucinogenic effects of Brugmansia were described in the journal Pathology as terrifying rather than pleasurable. The author Christina Pratt, in an encyclopedia of shamanism, says that Brugmansia induces a powerful trance with a violent and unpleasant effects, sickening after effects, and at times temporary insanity. These hallucinations are often characterized by complete loss of awareness that one is hallucinating, disconnection from reality, and amnesia of the episode, such as one example reported of a young man who amputated his own penis and tongue after drinking only 1 cup of Brugmansia Sanguine tea. There's a documentary via Vice.com where they discovered this plant and that people were making a powder form drug of this plant that if you just blew it into somebody's face, they would lose all autonomy and would be completely open to suggestion, and which people were having their bank accounts wiped and all the furniture in their house taken away from them and stolen because they'd let these people in, and they'd go, yeah, that's a great idea, you should take all my stuff, here, go take it. And then people would wake up, and as it said there, amnesia would kick in, and they'd wake up in the morning going, where's all my stuff? I don't remember telling anyone to take my stuff. Very worrying, very disturbing. So as much as it's a fantastic plant with a beautiful, beautiful fragrance and a very interesting look, it can be quite dangerous. And it's hilarious to me that such a potentially dangerous plant grows wild, or not wild, but grows in gardens. And as I said, I walk past one. There's one on the way to the dog park. We went past that today. Then there's one near the bus stop at my place. So it's fantastic that these crazy plants are out there, and you could just take some of the leaves and fruits and have an absolute trip of a terrible time. You could really hurt somebody and effectively not kill someone, but make them have a pretty unpleasant time. And that could be done with a plant that you can grow just on the and have it hanging over your fence into the street. Anyway, that's today's plant of the week, Brugmansia. Yeah, great plant. If you get a chance to see that, the angel's trumpet, if you ever get a chance to see that, have a good smell, because as long as you don't eat it, you're fine. So just have a smell of the flowers, and you'll be pretty impressed, I think, because I really like them. Anyway, speaking of plants and the woods, that's not really the greatest segue. This is probably the last camp food review. Again, this one is going to have a much longer version up on YouTube soon, so if you enjoy this as a segment, you're going to enjoy it as a full video up on YouTube. But this is camp food review, which has turned into more of a little bushcrafty type adventure. And in this one, I am actually wearing the same shirt. In the geocaching, I was wearing one of my white shirts. In this one, I am wearing the exact same shirt that I am wearing now, for all of those people at home playing along and watching the continuity. Oh, okay. So, welcome back to the forest. We're going to have a camp food review in just a moment. Oh, this is a slightly heavier pack than normal. My other backpack broke. I was heading to work and I pulled the straps and it just broke off. So I'm going to see if I can stitch it back, but I'm really disappointed with that backpack. It's been bits of it have been breaking apart for quite a while now, like just bits of stitching. So today we've got the bigger pack and we're going to do some BioLite power generating fuel burner, whatever. It's the BioLite stove. It's a fantastic stove that I've loved for a long time. I've got the set version number 2. And so we're going to grab some sticks and stuff and we're going to burn that. We're going to build a tripod, cook some oats. But first, we're going to set up a little bit of a camp. Okay, so I've just finished eating a little snack from the local cafe, which I was very disappointed to see is promoting a cult, so I won't be going there anymore, which is very disappointing, but good for my wallet because I should not have spent the money that I spent doing that. So, swings and roundabouts. But this is the BioLite stove. Doesn't quite fit, but that's alright. We won't use that. So I'm going to use some fat wood and some little fire starters to get things going. And my flint and my knife. I have not collected any firewood, so I will be right back. So the cool thing about the BioLite is that it uses twigs to get going. And I realised I was going to try and build a tripod to go over the top of this for this project. So before I even get this started, I'm going to collect a few more few logs, and I'm actually feeling some light spitting, some rain. No, I can feel it. So it is definitely starting to spit and rain, so we're going to set up the tarp. So, got my pot. I don't know if you can, how much you can see there, but I've got my pot, and the theory is I'm going to hang it like that over the top of the stove. Because the problem with this stove is that you can't, you've got to, if you set your pot and just sit it like that, you can't keep feeding it. So if you bring it up a little bit, you can then keep feeding it. Way better. So we want it to hang at about there to get the max heat, but also be able to put things in. We don't need this to be too tight. There we go. I'm scratching up these little fire starters. And I'm going to quickly do that so that I can go straight in like that. Okay. So that is the BioLite stove. So now we just sit here and keep feeding little twigs into it. Looks like it's dirtied up the pot really quick, which is a real shame. And there's a decent amount of rain happening. There we go. So the cool thing about the BioLite is that it has the motor thing generates electricity, which then powers the fan, which then blows into the chamber and makes it burn even hotter. It also generates enough electricity that it has an internal battery and you can charge things. So my off-grid daydreams involve using this to generate electricity. Even though it is quite heavy. As far as stoves go, it's quite heavy. And you need wood. So you wouldn't want to take this to the desert, I wouldn't imagine. There's a number of birds, or maybe it's just the one bird, hanging around. And I love it. I love that I'm so non-threatening to them that they are happy to come and hang out nearby. It's like when a dog comes over and gives pats and or lets you pat him and stuff. Feels like a nice little compliment. Worse. So I've poured the tea into my Crusader cup, and I didn't film myself pouring the tea in. I haven't been filming for a while, so I haven't I'm not practiced at it, but I'm really glad I brought the tarp because it is now starting to spit with a good amount of consistency. So the makeshift camp is well and truly underway. The BioLite is still blowing its little fan. It turns itself off when it's cooled down enough. So I'm going to let that cool down because, yeah, I'm not going to make the oats that I was going to make. So anyway, I'm going to drink my tea. I feel like I've got so much room here. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but just in front of you there's a bunch of wood which I would take out. And I feel like I could have the fire or the stove further in here because the it would always just travel up and out. And so, especially in a spot like where I am, where I've got tree canopies and stuff around me, this is so much shelter from the rain. It's just fantastic. But because it is starting to rain a bit now, I'm less inclined to get up and go home. Well, I have decided, because the line of the tarp is just allowing some moisture here, as well as on the biolite, so I've decided it is time to start packing up. Oh, sorry, Eshi. So I've been doing some practice lately, trying to cook and stuff with the cook my meals with my camping gear, and one of the things that I'm trying to get better at is cleaning as I go. And that includes the carbon on the bottom of the pot. And I've got a limited amount of water here, so I'm trying my best. Certainly one of the things that I feel that bushcraft videos really miss out on is cleaning. Don't feel that they talk about and show the cleaning process well enough. It's all fun and games, cooking and stuff, but yeah. Also, Doctor, why are you sitting out there in the rain? So, the spot there in the bag is for the tarp. But obviously the tarp is set up at the moment. So, it is raining enough that I'm definitely going to use the picnic rug as in poncho mode to get out of here and get home. I don't know the best way to do this. This is another cool thing about this setup, is that I can actually stand. For some reason Asher looks really little right now. Why you look so little, Ashy? I know you're little, but why you look so little? Hello. So yeah, all packed up. But that's it. That's the end of the episode, or the end of this segment. It wasn't really a camp food review. It was more of a sitting in the woods and philosophizing. So thank you very much. And back to me in the studio. And thank you very much, Gavin, out in the woods, as that segment will soon be referred to, because it will be a bunch of experiments and practicing different things out in the woods. We haven't used camera 3 very much today, so let's use a bit of camera 3 to record. I love this technology. It's fantastic. Did you see what I mean about the shirt? This is the same shirt that I was wearing. It's obviously been washed since then, and it's just so big and baggy. It's fantastic. It just feels really loose, and it's a relatively thin cotton, and I think it's probably meant to be like a business shirt for a large gentleman, but I use it as just a feeling comfy and cozy sort of night shirt almost. It's that kind of size. It goes down almost mid-thigh on me, which is fantastic. I really enjoy it. It's great and just comfortable and not too hot and stuff like that. It's really nice. I have a theory that the reason why, or the carbon that I was referring to on the bottom of the pot, came from the fatwood sticks. Fatwood is wood from, I believe, pine trees, and it just has a lot of oil and oily sap in it, and so it takes a flame really easily, and so they're great for fire starting. And so in future endeavors, I'm probably going to use the fatwood to get the fire started, but then cook over normal, much drier twigs and things like that, because just a bit too much carbon on there. But I do have some plans to get out into that wooded section of the park and do a lot more practice of things and ideas and stuff, and get better at camping whilst not actually going camping. Plus, I do kind of want to do a stealth camp, but I feel very nervous because I don't like the idea of getting caught because you're not meant to stealth camp. Although the other day on the way to work, I made a stop and I noticed in amongst some bushes and stuff, almost a homeless encampment on the foreshore. And that really blew my mind. I was not expecting that. It's an unfortunate reality of the world at the moment, in that it is much cheaper to buy a tent and camp out in some bushes than it is to pay rent, because I know that's exactly where I'm headed. Speaking of which, if you want to contribute, please let me know and I'll send you my bank details. I've got Buy Me a Coffee set up, and I'm going to have to set that up. But liking and subscribing is the best thing to do for me at the moment, because I want to get this channel happening, and this show is the main show for the whole channel. This is what it's all meant to be about. The daily Freakout and the Freakout headlines and the segments and everything else is all meant to be advertising for this show and for this variety vlog, as I call it. And so, if you like it, if you don't like it, let me know. I want to know what you didn't like. I want to improve. I want to change it. If you've made it this far, I assume you liked it enough. So tell me what you did like. Was it good? Should the segments have had bits of incidental music? Both those segments were missing little incidental bits of music, and I don't know if that's good or bad, whether it matters or not. And I'd like to have more of it. If you've got a segment idea, if you've got a quiz, send me in a quiz. Let's do quizzes together. Blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff. I'm hoping to have some record reviews so that we can have the record player up and running. It's not plugged in at the moment, but whilst I've still got a full sort of semi-studio, as it were, I want to try and potentially use the record player. As like a lot of my things, it needs a service and it needs like a new needle and stuff like that. So again, chip in, guys. Send me some money so I can buy a new needle. But thank you so much if you have actually tuned in all this way. Even if you don't comment or subscribe or any of that kind of stuff, I do appreciate it. Today's show was brought to you by the plant Brugmansia. Check them out if you get a chance to have a sniff. And I will see you in the future. I think that's the button for the music. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Check out the daily Freakout tomorrow morning. I've only got a few hours of sleep to get before I have to get up again. We've got some big plans. We've got some big adventures coming up. We've got some bike riding. We've got some all sorts of stuff. Thank you very much. Tell your friends, and I'll see you in the future.